Hi, my name is Serena Chang, and I'm a fourth year studying electrical engineering and computer science. So I'm from Missouri, and there was not generally a lot of interaction with engineering or technology growing up. So my first interaction with engineering or technology or coding in general was the summer before senior year of high school. I went to a summer camp that focused on engineering and CS fundamentals. But other than that, there wasn't really anything growing up that really led me to be exposed to engineering. I guess in the past I really liked tinkering with like household items and just building things, and so that kind of like made me want to go into something that required building things or some sort of development. But there was nothing elementary school wise that really led to that. I study electrical engineering and computer science, and I initially came in as engineering undeclared, and so I applied like not really knowing what I wanted to do, just knowing that I really liked math and I really liked science and I really liked making things. And then I joined Berkeley Innovation, which is a human-centered design club, and I guess, fell in love with the design process and the whole idea of problem solving and putting the user first. And I realized that I really liked making a lot of designs through the club, but I didn't really know how to implement them. And so that's what led me to EECS, because it would give me the skills to actually implement anything that I designed. And so that's generally what drew me to that field. And so I see it essentially more as a tool than necessarily just like, oh, I can write a cool program, but more as a tool to work on design projects. So there were quite a few moments where I felt discouraged or dissuaded from pursuing engineering or EECS in general. I guess it happened a lot more during the lower div classes or in the earlier years of college. The classes are very predominantly male and homogenous, and so I tend to, I guess, not really identify with them. A lot of people have a lot of coding experience already, and I didn't coming into college, and so that was definitely hard. I think one particular moment I remember when I was still taking some mechanical engineering lower divs was we had to basically pair up to find lab partners, and then there was only like one guy left sitting next to me, and then he looked at me and didn't want to be my partner, and then tried to join a group of three elsewhere in the room. And so that I felt like pretty judged in that instance, just for like he didn't even know me. And so that was one experience that I remember of just like feeling kind of like alienated immediately just upon like stereotype. But I think what has really helped has been finding a support group, as in like finding people to study with that are basically on the same level as me, and we can talk through the material and collaborate instead of it feeling competitive. I think a lot of times with like the GPA threshold and a lot of pressure and the growing size of computer science in general, it gets pretty competitive, and people tend to like to show off a lot about like how fast they're getting projects done, or basically a lot of times CS is all that people talk about in daily life, and I don't necessarily want that to dominate my life. And so in that sense, there's kind of a disconnect. There are definitely some fears and uncertainties about the future that I have. I think stepping into a large company, there are so many like incredibly smart and talented people. I think imposter syndrome is sort of natural to have, because I'll be working with a lot of like really high level engineers or executives who've maybe been at the company or been in industry for many years, and it's my job to oftentimes make the decision or have the last word. And I think that kind of pressure is pretty intimidating. A lot of times I don't feel confident in my own opinion, and so having that be the last word is definitely going to be a challenge. I think just figuring out how to work with a lot of different personalities. There will be people who I can get along with really well, but there will also be people I know who I might have tensions with or just have difficulties working with. And so navigating that situation, in addition to, I guess, the technical challenge of a lot of these products and teams, is definitely a challenge that I'm worried about. So I'm pretty excited to see STEM being introduced to women at a younger age, and so I know I never got that exposure when I was in elementary school, middle school, or high school, basically. So getting girls excited about technology or about engineering from a young age, introducing it in a fun way, so it's not like, oh, this is just a man's job and it's going to be really hard math, but finding a way to make it really fun for them is pretty exciting for me to see where that will go.